Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode. Today we will take you with us to our favorite excursions of the island of Koh Lanta.
So now we are here in the mangrove forest of Koh Lanta. We came here by our scooter and then we just got sold into this tour, but we have read about it. So basically what you can do is there are three ways of seeing a bit more of the mangroves, or you can walk around a little bit. It's just like 1 kilometer. It's around 40 baht, around €1 per person. You can rent a motorboat with a captain, which what we did. It cost us 1,000 baht for the both of us. Usually it's 1,200 and we negotiated a little bit. Or you can just come here and rent kayaks. I don't know how much this is, but it should be a bit cheaper than getting the motorboat. With this now we're gonna drive through the mangrove forest and we hopefully see some nice animals. We already saw tons of monkeys. And let's see how this is gonna be here in the mangrove forest. You can also book this tour on the entire island. Most of the hotels and even restaurants are working together with the tour operators here. It's quite a bit more expensive because the transport is included, sometimes food is included. It really depends what you want. But you can come here very easily by scooter on your own and just get your own tour. And literally we're just the two of us because we came and there was no one else, so they're doing the tour for the both of us.
Mangroves are very important ecosystems typically found in tropical regions. The plants are adapted to live constantly submerged in salty water, and they provide shelter to a lot of species.
These facts make them very important for our planet and our ecosystem, so they should be protected. Here in Koh Lanta, they are preserving the mangroves pretty well. So we just did this tour through the mangroves, and it was a very local experience still, like different in other islands and other regions. It seems like still the tour operator is very local, and they all use these long tail boats, and most of the boats that we've seen, they also only had like 1, 2, 3, 4 passengers with them, so I think they make it really in small groups. And whoever comes here, and then you can book the tour as well in other places around the island, and then they pick you up, and then of course it will be a bigger group. But I think if there is no other passengers, they still will do it for you. So this is pretty cool, and our guide, he didn't speak any English, so he couldn't explain as much about the mangroves and about the region, but he was super friendly. He let Lee drive, or did he say drive the boat, and he showed us the different animals that you can see around, and it was just a very relaxed boat trip. It was just for 1 hour. Overall, I think it was a nice experience, and I hope that the money that we were paying still comes to the local people here. In the end, the mangroves, it's a beautiful nature around here. We're still doing the walking a little bit here around.
So that's basically what you could see here.
Now we are in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the island, I'd say. We're gonna go to a cave. It's 300 baht per person, and you get a guide that helps you navigate through it because it's not easy to find the entrance or to understand later on in the cave where you have to go. There's not a lot of hikes here on the island in general. It is probably one of the only ones. You also have another one in the national park. So we decided to have some action on this relaxing island and just explore the cave around here. To start the adventure, we are walking now 30 minutes uphill through the beautiful forest, which is also an adventure in itself already. And suddenly, in the middle of nowhere, the guide is saying, "Here's the entrance to the cave."
And we get this awesome homemade headlamps.
And we're going further down and further down into the cave. And the feeling is getting very interesting because we are the only ones here in this cave. There's no one else around us.
Okay, maybe one more companion here.
I'm usually not getting scared easily, but since we're not going up, only down, it is a little bit scary, to be honest. They have built a very nice way through this cave because I can see wooden ladders and Thai security standards everywhere.
For example, those bamboo bridges that we have to cross over. One wrong step and tot.
And the more we're walking in the cave, it is actually getting bigger and bigger. Since it's only the three of us in here, it is really, really dark. And you get a sensation of really being in a cave without having the flashlights that you usually find all over the caves because there's just too many people inside.
There are a lot of beautiful rock formations inside this huge cave, and there's even a lake.
The guide even says that we can swim in here, but I don't think that I want to. Right now it has around 35 degrees Celsius outside, but here in the cave it's really, really fresh and nice. Now we're getting towards the end of the cave, and it already gets very narrow and very small, and suddenly the guide is crawling through a hole. I am not sure whether I actually want to go through this.
Finally, we're seeing the end of the tunnel.
But before going out, we are disturbing a little bit the bats. Oof, we made it. Finally, we are out of the cave. Okay, so now we came to the end of our small trekking trip, and you probably see I'm a little bit dirty everywhere. It was a little bit challenging in the sense of you have like 30 minutes walking up the hill, going through water. That was actually pretty nice. Usually when I hear that we're going into a cave, I'm like, a cave? Oh, okay. And I have to say that was actually a real adventure. Most probably in most of the countries it's not possible to the security standards. Here, well, let's say it was security standards high. In the end, basically the hole where you have to go out is very, very small, so we had to crawl out of there. Just for your information as a disclaimer. But it was really worth it. The 300 baht per person to get a guide was super necessary because otherwise we would have not even found the entrance to this cave because it was just like randomly there. That's the entrance. And then you definitely need the flashlights because it's completely dark inside. But it was a real experience. I would do it again, and it was a really cool experience here in Koh Lanta, and I think it was my favorite cave.
down in Koh Lanta, they still have a lot of rubber tree plantation. They still use it today in the industry to make tires, especially for airplanes. I think they are 100% only natural rubber. They told us that every day they would make a cut to the tree, the poor tree, and it will bleed this milky-like substance which becomes natural rubber later. And when it gets dry, the texture is really interesting. It feels almost like a half-cooked nyame plant and is a bit spongy. Really cool.
This small cat that just wants a lot of love. He doesn't leave us alone anymore.
Beautiful eyes.
Yeah, guap.
So now we're in one of our favorite restaurants here. I think it's the third or the fourth time that we're coming to this restaurant, and then there's another one a few meters there, and we also went there like 5 times already. It's the ones that are not directly at the sea, so usually they are a little bit cheaper and more local. You can see a lot of local people around, and there is usually where you find the best food. Although in the old town here in Lanta they have some very good restaurants and the price value is completely fine. It's just like here you have the easier dishes, like the daily dishes that you can eat easily and it's just very nice. I don't know, cheap and super nice. What else do you want?
Está rico.
Tiene un montón de sabor. Está lleno. Mira el color.
One minute later.
So that's it for today's episode. We hope that you liked the activities.
If you did so, please subscribe to our channel, and then we see you next week. Goodbye.